I am Khamphorn from Chiangmai University, representing SSBU Media. Now, I just would like to have a short interview with Venerable Phra.Dr. Anil Satya.
Yes.
Yes. So, thank you very much, first of all, for your enlightening talk yesterday. It's really inspiring. So my first comment is that Buddhism and Buddhist, to me, is also a Western term.
Indeed. The word Buddhism was first coined in 1828 by the Americans. In fact, the Encyclopedia Britannica just entered the word Buddhism in 1830s. But however, I found that there is an American dictionary which was published in 1828. The word Buddhism entered there. Before that, we don't have any English dictionary. They call the teaching of the Buddha. They call the doctrine of Buddha. That's all.
Yeah.
But the word Buddhism itself is coined by the American, and in a sense that they make us look bad because the word ism is there.
Yeah.
And an ism is generally, it is something which you have to believe, which is a not so good idea. But again, we ourselves also use that word so much. Generally, we use the Buddhist teaching or the Buddha Sasana. That is a direct translation of Buddhist teaching, actually.
So we now automatically we become Buddhist. But is that the correct term to be used to refer to Buddhist people in Asia?
Well, this is a very new way of thinking. If you take a genealogy from by birth, then these days you have to say that, when you are born, you didn't choose to born to a certain family, certain nation, certain race. But when you were born, you were given everything. You are given your nationality, you are given your ethnicity, you are given your identity, even you are given name and you are given religion. Yeah. So in that sense, if you are born in a Buddhist family, we automatically become Buddhist. Yeah. But however, the Buddhist is not, you cannot be Buddhist by birth. Just like the Buddha said to the Brahmin, that one who is a Brahmin, not by birth. Same thing, if you want to be a Buddhist, not by birth. You have to understand, you have to practice, and you have to bring the element of who you are as a Buddhist in your life. Then, whether you want to call it or not, you are Buddhist.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And I like your analysis of Buddhist study yesterday. So, if the Buddhism and the Buddhist terms, the two terms, are coined by the Westerners, so it is justified for them to name Buddhist studies.
Indeed, because at the moment it's become labelized. So when they said it as a Buddhism or something to do with ism there, so they call one who believe in a Buddhist, and any text is about the Buddhism is become a Buddhist text. So it's become adjective. But if we really understand the terminology, it's fine, because one who East, if you combine East in English and Buddha in Pali, yeah, still good, because the one who is still following the teaching of the awakening, one who want to be awakened. So I would say that it should be fine. But however, in the Western idea of Buddhist study, it is problematic for us in a sense that when they define the Buddhist study, it means that any knowledge, any study, which is just for the sake of knowledge. But from the Buddhist point of view, any study, any kind of education should refine our behavior, should refine our kaya kamma, that is our behavior, vaci kamma, our speech, and even our thought, way of thinking has to be improved, have to be really upgraded from who we were. So that is something what we call education. Education is another learning, another teaching. Educate means that you have to educate. You have to bring your understanding outside of your behavior. That is the very word of education. Sikha.
Okay.
Sikha is another memory. Sikha is another kind of studying in a school. Sikha means that you learn, understand, and you become one.
Okay. And in a very strict sense, Buddhist studies, Western scholars do not recognize monastic education in Asia as a Buddhist studies.
Yeah.
So, would it be? I mean, can you find something that can make the gap between the bridge between Buddhist study in Western sense and monastic education in our sense in Asia to be compromised, something like that?
Yes, we don't have to compromise because
Okay.
it is their understanding. Let them understand in that way, because they don't have the word religion. Actually, to be honest, they don't have the word religion itself, because the word religion for them in the Western term, by the etymologically, the word religion itself means a religare. And religare, it is actually, if we know the language, it is the same root of a relationship. It is the same root with the relative. It's the same root with so many, all those things, which means that it is a relationship you created with somebody. So if you created with your family, it's become relationship. If you become your bigger family, it becomes relative. So similarly, religare means that you become subservient, you become servant of someone who is higher, that's a boss, that is a god. So that is a relationship between a master and slave. That is called religion in English, you see. So if you are talking about religion in that sense, of course Buddhism is not a religion, because we don't go and worship on anybody. We have to understand the whole idea of worshiping is a patipatti. Is actually it is a have to be practiced. It has to be a one who you are. It's not only the one what you speak. So that's why in Buddhist idea is a yathavadi tathakari. Now what you say is what you do. Tathakari yathavadi, and what you do is what you say. So whatever you say, whatever we say has to be something who we are and what we do. And that is the way of life. That is the teaching. That is the whole thing. It is not a religion as a Western idea that's separate from the economy, separate from the family life, separate from the... In English, religion is something to do with God. But in our Buddhist term, religion is something to do with our mind.
Okay, thank you very much. And my final question is, how do you feel like participating in Shan State Buddhist University grand opening ceremony?
Yes, this is something everyone will memorize and remember, because especially the beauty of Buddhism is that we don't have a certain what we call Buddhist culture. We globalize. It is not the idea is to globalize, what you call it, because Buddhism is the same Buddhism, but when we go to the local place, it's become localized. So it's a globalized. Buddhism is globalized. And to see the globalization of a Shan Buddhism, it is very interesting in a sense, because you can see a lot of the culture, the local culture, indigenous culture, how they took Buddhism into their life. Even the dress, even the culture, even the music, even the dance. So all those things is a reflection of how Buddhism has embedded in their life. So to witness that and to have an eyewitness to see with my own eyes is a rare. And then I would say that I'm so lucky, and then I'm honored that I'm invited for this opening ceremony.
Now I remember one more question. Can I ask you? You mentioned that yesterday in the West, England and America in particular, and other European nations in general, and you mentioned that they use Buddhism in any place,
Yes.
anywhere.
Yes.
And I noticed that a few years ago that there was kind of Buddha bar, Buddha restaurant, and something like that. So how do you feel like that they use to me inappropriate places?
Yes, it is not right from our point of view, But again, as I says that in West, the Buddhism has been commercialized.
Okay.
So they make money out of Buddhism. However, if you go and ask the one who make all this trade, they still do not use it as disrespect. They said, I don't know, we don't believe them, but they said they didn't use it as a disrespect. They said that to Buddha bar, for example, it says that it is a part of decoration, but at the same time it is a part of warning. It is a part of let them understand. Buddha didn't teach all those things. So this is their saying. But of course, we thought that Buddha is not should be in that way. It is very difficult to say because it's different culture. Because if we look at the Mahayana Buddhism and the Japanese Buddhism, and then sometimes Buddhism is diluted, and then it's become every part and partial of people. For example, there is a Zen of Zen Buddhism, what you call it, Zen of fixing motorcycle, Zen of cooking. Zen, it means that a Zen there is that a smart, So it means that it is a clever, it means that it's a good. They use it as an adjective. So I guess that Buddha is also in that way, they use it, in a better way. But of course, it is not the right place to use it. Or even they use Buddha's images as a part of decoration. From our idea, we wouldn't like it. But when I asked all those Western, where they have a Buddha as a decoration piece, they said that no, they use it as to get inspiration of peace. They said that when they see their Buddha in the corner of their room, when they see the Buddha in their garden, that's the decoration part. But whenever they see the Buddha, it reminds of the peace. It reminds of their kind of trained to think of themselves. So if they use it in that sense, I wouldn't say that it's fine with me.
Okay.
But for us, of course, we are born in a culture, we respect, worship Buddha so much, and then it's become a part of us as just an object of a sacred object. But if we can bring that sacred object to become a sacred of ourselves, our mind, then only I would say that is a proper way of doing it. Otherwise, again, in our temples, in our Buddhist temples, we have a huge Buddha. For what? And more or less, it's now become for a tourist reason, not for the we will pray and then become money kind of printing machine these days. So if we are using in that way, it's nothing different from what Western use the Buddha in a different way.
So that means Asia Buddhism also has been commercialized.
Yes, that's what I say. Because the Buddha, we don't know that what's the Buddha look like. Now you have a Burmese Buddha exporting to everywhere. You have a Thai Buddha exporting to everywhere. And then we don't know what his Buddha looks like, but we need to have a Buddha. Instead of having Buddha from out inside us, where we are having a Buddha outside and we never put it inside. When we think of the Buddhism, oh, that's a statue. Go there and then pray there. And then not internalize. So I would prefer that all those Buddha was, of course, it was introduced to us by the Greek, about 500 years after the death of the Buddha. So again, it's a Western interpretation.
Image. Western image.
That's
is
right.
Not Asian.
Yeah, but we make it Asian. But one who introduced that idea is the Western, because in case, from the Buddha's point of view, he never says that yo dhammang passati so mang passati. If you want to see me, you have to practice the Dhamma. We don't have the Buddha image per se. But because of this Greek, the Western gave it to us that Buddha. Now we addicted to Buddha so much. Once I was in Islamic country, Pakistan, and where Takasila was, and then I was interviewed in the Pakistan television on their prime time, and then when the Islamic Muslim journalist asked me about this, a lot of things. And one thing I said that actually when Islamic people, the Muslim people look at the Buddhists, they said that the Buddhists are the one who worship the icon. And then I said that sorry, one who taught us is you, because it's because original Pakistani was the Gandhara and all those things. They are the people who taught us to worship the icon. Yes, and then we are now addicted to icon.
So we cannot neglect it. And we
Yes,
cannot
yes.
discard it anymore.
Yes.
So without Buddha's image now, there's no
Buddhism. That's what happened, and then it shouldn't be like that. But now that's what happened in the Asia as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Ajahn.